Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In this tutorial we're going to clean up a few things in the embedded events custom command that we've been working on. And so in this one we're actually going to get the cursor to move to the end of the event as was intended in the previous tutorial. We're also going to add the ability for it to add from this marker to the next marker, or if there is no next marker, to the end of the file. And then we are going to actually group the events together, just like if you manually drag them from the media pool down to the timeline, the audio and video events would be grouped. So let's look at these changes. All the changes we are making today are in the List View 1 Selected Index Changed routine. It starts the same. We go down to Get Add Tracks. All of this is the same. And then I want to, instead of just adding a flat 10 seconds, I want to figure out how much I need to add. So I created me a new time code here called Length to Add. And initially I just set it to media.length minus the marker location. So this says if I am the last marker in the media, this is the length I need to be. Otherwise, if I'm not, then I will change this. So if the item that I'm looking at .index is less than the listview1.items.count -1, then I know that there is another item after me in the list view. And so what I want to do is look at that next item and see if it's part of the same media, and if it is, then I know that there is another marker after me. To get the next item, I just go to listview1.items and the listview1.index +1. Next, I check the subitems.3 under the list view item that I'm going to add and the next item. Are those both from the same file? If they are both from the same file, then I'm going to change my length to add to be timecode.fromString, and then I'm going to get the timecode from the next item from subitems 1, and then subtract the marker location that I got up here, which is from the current item, subitems 1. So that will give me the new length to add, which will be from this marker start to the next marker start, if the next item is part of the same file. Now, if media does not equal null, then what I'm going to do is create a new track event group, which I just called new group, equals new track event group, and then I have to add that to Vegas. So my vegas.project.groups.add, I add that new group. As we scroll down, we're going to see a couple of changes here. First of all is after we change the active take offset, I now said new group.add that new video event. So we're going to add that video event to this new group we just created. And then here's the other change that I made. myvegas.updateUI. By doing the update UI, now that event has the appropriate end time. So now when we move the cursor position to my new event.end, it does properly move. So this was the big change to get the cursor to move correctly. And then down here we're going to do the exact same thing. After the audio active take offset is changed, we're going to add that audio event to the new group, and then we're going to do the myvegas.updateUI. Honestly, those are the only changes to the script between the previous version and this version. So let's see how this is going to work. We need to compile, and then we're going to have to copy. Now in Vegas, let's open the project we've been working with. I'm going to select Media Pool, refresh. Let's go ahead and move the cursor to the end. And I'm going to leave this with new video track and new audio track this time because we didn't actually show that working the previous time. Let's look at some of these markers here. Let's click on lots of reading here. This goes from 48 seconds to 1 minute and 32 seconds. So if we double click on this, we can see that this is 44 seconds long. And so we know we've got the entire event there. Now if we go to and more reading, Army of the Tennessee, we click on that. Now let's zoom in here. And if we extend this out, you will see that we have the little notch right here, which indicates that that is the end of the file. So it added all the way to the end of the file, and that was 30 seconds long. If we click on the very last one down here, nice marker shot, here it is. It added at the cursor location, which we had set to there, so I can see it here. And that was 4 seconds long, and if we extend it out, you can see that is at the end of the file. And if we do the reading main content, let's move the cursor again, reading main content, let's put this down on tracks 5 and track 6. So we'll put reading main content down there. Scroll down, we can see that these are now 13 seconds long. And so if we look at here at reading main content, we went from 9 to 23, well, almost 10 to 23, which is 13 seconds long. It's actually 13 and a half seconds. So we can see that we are getting from the current marker to the next marker each time. And we are getting them added to the same track that we have specified in our track list up above. So we could go back to, say, here and add them back again to the new tracks that were added. So we have our new tracks that can be added. We can add to existing tracks. It will now add from this marker to the next marker, and it will now group them so that if I move or extend one of them, it will do both the video and the audio. So we made quite a few nice little changes in this one that just simplifies the use of the custom command. If you have any other changes you'd like to see kind of made to this custom command, you can let me know and we'll look into it. Like, subscribe, let me know what scripts you'd like to see in the future, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.